There are huge research questions that remain in the New England landscape and concerning our forests. How long will our forests continue to grow? How long will they continue to actively store carbon? And how does that vary across this landscape and over time? So that's a very fundamental question at a relatively small scale in terms of individual trees and individual forests that ultimately really does pertain to global questions and global interests.
We've been measuring here since about 1989 to look at the metabolism of the forest and how it relates to the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The reason that we need a tower is we need to measure above the forest and look at the changes in concentration as you go down into the forest. So we can look at the difference between what's way up high and what's down in the forest and that exchange. So on the tower we have not just an inlet at the top, but we have 8 inlets kind of spaced along the tower. And we're essentially looking at the difference in carbon dioxide concentration between a puff of air that blows into the forest and then when that puff of air blows back out. It's like measuring when you breathe in and out and looking at the difference in carbon dioxide concentration to know something about your metabolism. A leaf like this fern here and sitting in the sun, it absorbs carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, and the leaf makes sugars, and the plant uses those to make the stem and make more leaves, or if it's a tree, it makes the wood. And then in the fall when the leaves come down, or at night, we see more CO2 coming out of the forest. That's from the decomposition in the soil. The leaves that fall on the forest floor decompose, roots die. The theory was that as the forest reaches middle age, the carbon dioxide coming out of the atmosphere going into the leaves would be about equal to the carbon that comes back out of the forest through the decomposition in the soils. But when we add it up over the whole year, we see that each year more carbon dioxide has come into the forest and stayed here than comes back out. This forest, which is 100 years old, is still accumulating carbon at a substantial rate. About 2 metric tons per hectare per year.
It's been growing at a very rapid rate for 20 years, and it actually is storing carbon at a faster rate today than it did 20 years ago.